A controversial move by President Donald Trump has sparked a heated debate and raised concerns among Illinois' leaders. In a bold and unprecedented step, Trump authorized the deployment of 300 National Guard members to Chicago, despite strong objections from Governor JB Pritzker. This move has ignited a firestorm of controversy, with Pritzker and other prominent Democrats accusing Trump of escalating chaos and fear. The White House justified the deployment, citing the need to protect federal officers and assets engaged in immigration enforcement amidst ongoing riots and lawlessness. However, Pritzker and his allies argue that this military intervention is unnecessary and serves only to further Trump's controversial agenda. The tension between the federal government and Illinois' leadership reached a boiling point when Pritzker revealed that he had received an ultimatum from the Department of Defense: deploy the National Guard or face federal intervention. Pritzker strongly condemned this demand, calling it outrageous and un-American. He believes that the Illinois National Guard members are being mobilized against their will and without the state's consent. The governor's announcement came just hours after a disputed incident in Chicago's Brighton Park neighborhood, where federal immigration agents shot a woman. While the Department of Homeland Security claimed that the woman was part of a group that rammed a car carrying federal agents, activists provided a different account, alleging that ICE agents crashed into a civilian car and then opened fire. The shooting quickly escalated tensions, with protesters gathering nearby and federal agents using flashbang grenades and tear gas to disperse the crowd. Pritzker's statement confirming the deployment of the National Guard was met with further resistance from the White House. Spokesperson Abigail Jackson defended Trump's decision, stating that the president would not turn a blind eye to the lawlessness plaguing American cities. Pritzker, however, remained steadfast in his opposition, arguing that the Trump administration's plans were unnecessary and would disrupt the lives of hardworking Americans. He emphasized that there is no need for military troops on the ground in Illinois, as state, county, and local law enforcement have been effectively coordinating to ensure constitutional rights and public safety. The controversy surrounding Trump's deployment of the National Guard is further fueled by the ongoing Operation Midway Blitz, a surge of immigration enforcement activities launched by the Department of Homeland Security. This operation has resulted in the arrest of over 800 individuals, including American citizens and those without criminal backgrounds. Illinois' Democratic leaders have united in their criticism of Trump's actions, with Senator Dick Durbin condemning the move as an attempt to spread fear rather than fight crime. Senator Tammy Duckworth described the federalization of the National Guard as an unconstitutional abuse of the military, intended to instill fear and threaten civil rights. Representative Robin Kelly and Senate candidate Lt. Governor Juliana Stratton echoed these sentiments, denouncing Trump's actions as an abuse of power and a threat to the well-being of Chicago's communities. Pritzker has urged residents to engage in peaceful protests and avoid contentious interactions with federal agents. But the group Hands Off Chicago believes that simply asking people to know their rights is insufficient. They call for a stronger state response to protect peaceful protesters and warn residents. Trump's federalization of the National Guard in Illinois is unprecedented and has no historical precedent. State officials had emphasized that there is no record of the National Guard being federalized for an in-state response without the governor's request or agreement. The controversy surrounding Trump's actions has even reached the courts, with Judge Karen Immergut, a Trump appointee, issuing a temporary restraining order blocking the president's mobilization of National Guard members in Portland, Oregon. The judge ruled that the decision to deploy troops was not made in good faith, and that the president's claims about chaos in Portland were untethered to the facts. The Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 prohibits the Guard from conducting law enforcement activities on U.S. soil, and a federal judge in California has ruled that the Guard's actions in Los Angeles violated this prohibition. Pritzker has also threatened a lawsuit over the Guard's use in Illinois. As the debate rages on, the Illinois National Guard's historical role in dealing with rioting and unrest in Chicago is being scrutinized. From the riots following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. to the unrest during the Democratic National Convention in 1968, the Guard has been called upon to maintain law and order. More recently, the Guard has been mobilized to assist with COVID-19 testing and to quell civil unrest following the death of George Floyd. The controversy surrounding Trump's deployment of the National Guard in Illinois has sparked a nationwide conversation about the role of the military in domestic law enforcement and the limits of presidential power. As the situation unfolds, the eyes of the nation are on Chicago, awaiting the outcome of this contentious battle between the federal government and state leadership.